Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another process video as a design partner for Scrapbook Your Joy this month. Again, I'm using the Cocoa Vanilla Studio's brand new collection, their Unforgettable collection. If you guys have not seen this, head over to her store and definitely check it out before it sells out because it is absolutely gorgeous. If you guys don't know, this was actually my second time working with this kit, and it's the collection kit, and I know a lot of people struggle with using brand new kits. Usually the first one's the hardest, but I'll tell you what, the second one's also difficult because there's so many beautiful things to choose from, and sometimes it's really hard to pick. Like for instance, this wood grain, gorgeous, and I knew I wanted to pair it with some of the scraps I had from my previous layout, just so I can maximize my potential for this entire kit because it is one, gorgeous, and two, the quality is absolutely amazing. Cocoa Vanilla Studio is something I'll definitely be looking forward to using more in the future. It's hard to get, I know, but this store ships to the United States and Canada, so for any of you who are in Canada as well, definitely check it out because you can get your Cocoa Vanilla Studio goodness super quick and easy. So here's where I start pulling out the ephemera pieces. Now, if you guys know me, I'm usually hard at using, it's usually hard for me to use ephemera, but since I'm trying to work within this collection itself, it's been kind of easy to use these pieces, mainly because there are large, medium, and small die cuts. If you guys find that your die cuts from other things might be too big, it's nice to have pieces that are also very small to tuck in and around all the other bits. So here's where I pull in a scrap from the last page that I did. It's an ombre pink magenta, and you can start seeing here I've pulled in some clusters using those floral bits and pieces. So I have a cluster bottom of my photo on the left, and then I have one to the right of my photo on the right, and then I'm also going to create a cluster in the top right. Here I start auditioning different title pieces. I really wasn't sure what to call this one. These photos are actually from when Sam and I visited the Library of Congress. Absolutely beautiful. If you guys have never been there and you live near DC, highly recommend it. It is free, and you just gotta make sure you go during open hours. But it was absolutely beautiful on the inside, and he took these photos of me just for fun. You can hardly tell where we are, but there's some big columns in the background, and I really like the color of my shirt that matches the ornate wallpapers and designs on the ceiling. So it was really fun to go here. Next, I'm going to grab one of these cut apart sheets. Now, I decided to only keep 2 of these. So here I'm trying to decide which ones I want to cover up. Because I'm going to be using the opposite nice polka dotted side because I wanted 2 black and white pieces next to each other. So the left one is a 4x6 card with a floral design in black and white, and the right is the back side of a cut apart sheet, which has a polka dot pattern. And I just made sure I didn't want the cut aparts on the opposite side, and that's how I made it work. Now I am going to visit the stickers here. I have this label, and then I also have a die cut, but what I really love about the 6x12 sticker sheet is, again, small to medium to large size stickers. Really love the clear stickers as well. If you guys know, I actually really love clear stickers. They come in sticker books very often. I've come accustomed to using them. I know a lot of people struggle with them, and if you do, just try to use them on either white cardstock or even colored cardstock that matches. For example, that ombre piece that's at the bottom there would be great to put clear stickers on and then cut them out to match this collection perfectly. So that's a little tip for you guys about using clear stickers. Now again, if you guys have not checked out the Scrapbook Your Joy store or the Scrapbook Your Joy Facebook group, I highly recommend it. Lots of fun goodies to shop and lots of inspiration in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the shopping mode right now because you're saving up for Christmas or things are on your wish list, just go head over to the Facebook group so you can get some inspiration to use up more stash so you can ask for more for Christmas. That's always my ideas. But here I'm going to start gluing everything down, and I'm just using my ATG gun. I will say that someone gave me the great idea of the last layout when I used a tassel to use those glue dots. Those worked really well, they said. So keep that in mind when you're also using some of those non-conventional embellishments. So here's where I have some fun and start using some foam to add some dimension to my clusters. So if you saw there on that leaf, I actually just put 1 square of foam adhesive on one side and then regular tape adhesive on the other. That way it sort of dips up and really gets like that curved dimension that a leaf would naturally have. And I'm actually going to also use some foam on the left-hand side when I go to do that cluster as well to give some boosted up points and then some lower points, so it really gives the page some liveliness. So here's where I put some on the right and left hand sides, and then I'm going to put regular adhesive on the bottom there so that it stays put, but we also have that curved dimension that really adds a lot to the layout. And I think I do show you at the end, I show you a vertical view of the layout so you guys can kind of see the dimension from those. And I really, really love having that magenta and ombre strip down there. I think it makes the other colored flowers pop really, really well. Here I grabbed one of those labels that has like the number chart on it, and I put that in with these florals just to give it a little bit more height so it matches the right hand side a bit better. Now what I'm picturing is the journaling would go well on that pink strip down there, or I could do something else, lots of options. But my title is planning on going above the photo there on the right hand side because we have the nice L shape going on. If you guys have not watched my Falling Back to Basics series where I do my go-to designs, definitely check that out. I have a lot of great tips in there if you guys are interested in learning more about how I make quick and easy design decisions for my photos based on the orientations of them and all sorts of other good things. So here's where I start pulling off a piece of my title. So I was going to do Shine Bright, but if you guys notice, they're going to have to start overlapping the photo. So it was hard to find a spot that fit because the S was so large, and if you start squishing it together, it doesn't make any word. It just starts to look like a jumbled mess. So I try to mess around with this for a bit. I don't like how it hangs off. I also think it's kind of fighting a lot for some space on this layout. The H is really, really squished. The I is bent over, and I really try to make this work for a bit because I thought this would be a good title. Again, I don't have a story to go with this other than we were there, we were taking photos, it was absolutely beautiful, but I really, really love these photos of myself. I think they really capture what I looked like at the time, which this was 2 years ago, I think. This might have been 2018 though. 2017 or 2018 when we lived in Maryland. So I decided to throw that away and just put it back on the sheet and go for the clear sticker instead. Now I wasn't sure if these would look good right off the bat, so I do sort of a tester by seeing what the black would look like since it's clear sticker directly onto the hardwood, or the wood grain rather, it's not hardwood. And I thought it looked really, really nice. Now I want to make sure that the word documented will also fit. And luckily it does, but since these are a smaller alphabet, I can stack them nicely so that they fit within the little gap there between the two photos. Now I accidentally bent the D, so I have to really pull it apart to unbend it. There we go. And then I set that down. There was not a lot of easy ways to move it around, but again, if you don't like clear stickers, just put this on some white cardstock, some colored cardstock, and it'll work out really well. But this almost gives it a stamped sort of look, and I like that it can overlay over a bunch of things and still be legible, but that might just be my own personal preference. So now that that is in place and glued down, I'm going to start look for some embellishments to put around it because I don't want it to be, basic and just sitting there. I do have that cluster in the top right I need to finish off as well. Just adds a little bit of peak of color up there to bring your eye sort of in a diagonal across the page there. I also have these wonderful phrase stickers I started putting down. Now what I really like about these phrase stickers is one, they have unique sayings, and two, they're a decent size. I know some phrase stickers are very, very, very small, which are also, good in some instances, but I like these bigger ones because they help tell the story and they're legible from a far distance. So I'm going to start gluing down the rest of my little bits and pieces to really finish off this layout. And that includes looking at the clear stickers, looking at the foam again, because there's a lot of little details in there that I wanted to add. Like these little starburst actions, I grabbed some of those, and then I also grabbed one of these like swirly lines to put under my title because it helps give that dimension despite the title being very flat, almost giving that stamped look so it looks like one with the layout. But by adding those, you get a little bit more dimension, a little bit more liveliness. But with that, we are almost done. I'm going to add some enamel dots because who doesn't love a little extra color here and there? And what I really love about these enamel dots is the largest size is not too large. And I know a lot of people who get enamel dots struggle with the largest size because sometimes they can be so big, but these ones are nice size. I really like them. And I liked mixing and matching the colors because they match the collection perfectly because they were built for it. So here I'm adding a bit of color in the top right along with the other clusters down here in the bottom left and bottom right. And again, that magenta strip will serve as a great place for journaling strips or just direct on journaling if I wish. So with that and the enamel dots done, that is it for this layout. Here are the close-ups. There's that up close view. And here's where I forgot to glue down the little tab that I had at the beginning, and now it's finally complete. So here are the final close-ups. Again, I did add that little blue tab to give it another little bit of dimension and less boxiness up there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this process video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And don't forget to check out the Scrapbook Your Joy Facebook group and store for all of your fun Cocoa Vanilla Studio needs and inspiration. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!